Alright, so I'm going to walk us through the setup for the Sync 2 practice. We're going to be using the sync1.fla file, and we're going to do a file, a save as, and we're going to change that to sync2.fla. Now I'm going to open up my library over here so I can see everything. The first thing that we need is we need to download 2 resources. Hopefully you have those downloaded from the drive, and then we're going to get those from our resources folder on our computer. So file, import to library, and we're going to find those resources. So one of them is 12 Visemes template.png, and the other one is whatever audio clip that you picked. I am using a different audio clip than the rest of you. Alright, so that is our 2 resources imported in. And now we are going to make some changes. So the first thing is we don't need this audio clip anymore, this nuts.wave. So we can right click, delete that. You'll see that it disappears out of the audio layer. That's good, that's what we want. We're going to drag our new audio file on the audio layer. So select your audio layer. Drag it onto the stage. You can't drag it onto the timeline. You need to drag it onto the stage anywhere you want. Just drop it. Alright, test that. If your audio isn't playing, make sure, select your audio layer, make sure under Properties and Sound that it's set to Stream and that there is no effect. None for effect. Stream for sync. Alright, so that's our audio swapped out. The next thing we're going to do is add 2 new layers to our layer stack here, 1 and 2. I'm going to put both of these layers underneath my audio, and I'm going to name one Visemes, and the bottom one is template. Then I'm going to lock my mouth and face layers and my audio layer, and I'm going to hide the mouth and the face. Okay, so now we can't see our little face anymore, and we can't accidentally mess with any of those layers. So now we're going to go on to creating our own Visemes. So on the template layer, so with the template layer selected, you're going to grab your 12 Visemes template.png and drag it right out there. It's going to be too large to fit on your stage, so use your free transform tool, holding Shift, and size it down until you can see all the boxes. We're going to be using this as a guide to set up our 12 Viseme symbols so that we can put them in our library and use them. So now we're going to lock our template layer because we don't want to be able to draw on it. We're going to move to our Visemes layer, and we're going to draw out our Visemes. Ooh, timeline. And just to skip ahead, too far. There we go. Here are my Visemes that are all nice and drawn out. So they are on their own layer called Visemes. I've got my template layer locked in place. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to turn each of these into its own symbol, and I'm going to name them exactly what it says underneath. So for this one, I'm going to F8, I'm going to name it neutral. I'm going to make sure that it's a graphic symbol, and I'm going to hit OK. And it's going to show up in here. If you still have the old symbols in here and you don't want to use those, like the ooh, and so on, you can just delete them. It's not going to let you name a symbol the same thing that another symbol is named, so it might be a good idea to delete the ones out of the library that you do not need. And I'm just going to keep going through like this. This one is called ah. This one is called E. This one is called O. U. D. M. F underscore V. S underscore J underscore T. L, and finally R. And now I should have all 12 of my Visemes in my library along with the face, the eyes, and my wave file. You need to make sure that each of your pieces, each of your mouths, is its own separate symbol, that you haven't accidentally grabbed another piece of the mouth, and make sure that you grabbed all of the pieces so that you have the whole mouth in there. Okay, so our next step is going to be deleting our Visemes layer. I know we just did a lot of work on it, but all of these are already in our library, so they're not going anywhere. So we're going to delete our Visemes layer, and we're going to delete our template layer. And now we're back to, audio, face, and mouth. And now we're going to go to our mouth layer. We're going to turn our face back on. We're going to turn our mouth back on. And the mouth layer should be empty because we have our mouths over here. We can lock our face layer, lock our audio layer. I'm going to temporarily hide my audio layer. Hiding your audio layer will mute the audio, so you can't see it with your ears. So, we need to set up our mouth symbol. So, we're going to start with our neutral, and we're going to bring that guy out. Oop. Not to our face layer, which is locked, but on the first frame, it has to be the first frame of your mouth layer, you're going to drag out your neutral Viseme. Okay, we've got our neutral. Now we're going to double click to go into our symbol. Frame 1 is going to be neutral. Now we're going to look here at our instructions, and this is the order that we want them to go in. Neutral, E, O, U, D, M, F, S, L, R. Each of those is going to go on its own keyframe. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to frame 2. I'm going to make this a little bigger because we only need 12 keyframes. We're going to go to frame 2. And we're going to insert a blank keyframe. And then we're going to find our first one, which is going to be ah. And we're going to stick it right where the other one was. Now, the important thing here, and you may turn on onion skinning to help you with this, the important thing is that we're matching up the location of the top teeth. So there is my neutral, and there is my ah. The reason is because when we talk, only our bottom jaw moves. So the top teeth should always stay in the same place unless the head is tilting up or down. So we're going to go through frame 3, insert a blank keyframe. That one's going to be E. E. Frame 4, insert a blank keyframe. That one's going to be O. And so on and so forth until you've got all of them in there. So I'm going to skip ahead here and show you what my final mouth looks like. So frame 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Neutral. E, O, U, D, M, F, S, L, and R. Each one in that order on its own frame. And now that I have these on each of their frames, I can use my frame picker. Select my mouth. If you want to change the size of how many of these you can see at once, this little guy here, small mountain to big mountain, is going to change the preview size for you. I like to keep it right about there. And then you're going to do the same thing you did in the other practice, except this time you have more options to pick from. So I have a 1 second clip done with this one. So if I go over here,
I'm just relieved that
I've got I'm just relieved that I'm just relieved that Okay. For the assignment, you are going to need 4 to 6 seconds. So if your audio is not long enough, if your audio isn't showing enough, then you can go to whatever second mark, let's say the 5-second mark here, insert a frame, and it will extend the audio out. Goodness gracious. Okay. Okay. And that is going to be it for practice number 2. Make sure that you time everything as accurately as possible. And make sure that you're not just timing it with the stopping, but you're also timing it with the actual audio playing. Yes, I am relieved that I'm as well. And that is it for practice number 2, Sync 2.